McDonald. Case C-387-359 present at Liberty, and this is on for sentencing. Do the parties want to make their appearances?
Colleen Baharav for the state. Monti Levy with Mr. McDonald, who's present at Liberty.
Okay. Mr. McDonald, any legal cause or reason why judgment should not be pronounced against you at this time?
No, Your Honor.
By virtue of your plea entered in this matter, I hereby adjudicate you guilty of theft. Does the state wish to address the court?
Yes, Your Honor. So I will note that we retained the right to request restitution for the number of victims who were no longer charged after the indictment. I do have a document from Colin Haynes from the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department detailing the checks that went out of the court system and or through those houses to Mr. McDonald and never made it in the hands of these homeowners. The total value of that is $760,000.93. I only say that I have a chart because we weren't able to make contact with these witnesses. They didn't testify at the grand jury. We don't know whether or not they had some sort of agreement with Mr. McDonald, but what we didn't see is any money going from Mr. McDonald's account to their account. So I am making the request for that restitution with the understanding, of course, that I have their names on here and the specific amounts. And also letting the court know that I don't have any additional information except that that money went to Mr. McDonald. For the witnesses that we do have, I do have a detail of restitution for the court. With the court's permission, I can say that to you now.
Sure.
Miss Betty Stone, she's listed as CPN 0002332. The total restitution with the documentation we had in testimony was $31,252.42. The estate of Donna Nicholas, CPN 0002462. The restitution we had was $26,265.16. Thomas and Teresa Jones, they're listed as CPN 0002331 and CPN 0002460. The restitution was $27,362.82. For Vianney Diaz, the restitution was $17,572.46, and she is CPN 0002333. For David Meyer, CPN 0002330. The restitution was $3,469.22. Arceli Gacula, CPN 0002329. The restitution is $21,137.54. For Sue Chen Renzulli, and it's HSIU, Chen CHEN Renzulli RENZULLI, CPN 0002334. The restitution is $12,509.82. The estate of Margaret Harger, CPN 0002461. The restitution is $37,185.42. And finally, for Alan Foldy, CPN 0002458. The restitution was $23,983.02. The total restitution for our charged victims was $200,737.88. And I will note for the court that this was as the result of a settlement conference. So the state would request that the court follow the negotiation of 3 to 8 years, and the defendant does have 5 days credit for time served. We did not have any victims who indicated they wanted to speak today.
Okay, thank you. Mr. McDonald, do you want to address the court?
I would. Just briefly, Your Honor. I think all of us at some point in our life have been told that character is defined by what we do when nobody's looking. And I realized that at that critical moment in my life when nobody was looking, I failed miserably. and made decisions that have impacted a lot of people. My family is with me today. 5 amazing kids, 4 of whom are here. My mother, 90 years old today.
Your mom's birthday today?
It is her birthday today. Lousy day to be sentenced. But I'm surrounded by love and support, great friends as well. And I'd like to just simply offer an apology if I can. It's hard to take back those actions. I never directly intended to hurt somebody, but in the end, you can't hide behind that. People were damaged and harmed. And I wish I could take it back, but I can't. So I'm prepared to, I worked in a system. I know the rules, and I'm prepared to pay the price for what I did. Like I said, I wish I could take it back. The person who, there's an attorney in town that first brought this to light. I think his name was Chris Chris Connell. And I remember a conversation I had with him in which he said he couldn't ignore it, that we worked too hard to get these licenses. And it was just too important. And I've thought about those words have kind of haunted me, how hard I worked to get this license. Lloyd George was a mentor of mine in my youth, and he's the guy that talked me into going to law school, and I'm grateful that he's not here to see me going through this today. The license was just too important. It was my entire life. I loved being an attorney and practicing law. And to the court in the state of Nevada, I lied to the court many times in the execution of what happened. Again, I wish I could take it back. I can't. I'm prepared to own it, and I'm not dying. I'm gonna go do what I got to do and get on with the rest of my life.
Your Honor, Mr. MacDonald's character is not just defined by this case, and I disagree that his character is only defined by what he does when people aren't looking. His character is defined by his words that he spoke today, and the way he accepted responsibility immediately. Immediately when this came up, he didn't fight. He didn't fight the bar. He went to the bar and turned in his license voluntarily. When he was charged, immediately contacting the district attorney's office, staying in communication with detectives. He cooperated in giving them documentation for individuals that he represented, where he was actually paid the money to those individuals. Mr. MacDonald's character is defined by his life as a whole, and you can see in the courtroom, he's got a number of family members here, as well as lifelong friends. His mother, 4 of his 5 children, the other one couldn't get out of work to travel here, and a number of friends who all support him now and have supported him the entire time and will continue to support him because they know his true character. We did reach a negotiation in a settlement conference whereby he stipulated to 3 to 8 years. Obviously, I am going to ask the court to follow that negotiation. We believe it is harsh, but he is willing to accept responsibility and do the time that he has agreed to do. With regard to the restitution, we do not dispute and agree to pay the $200,737.88 for which the state has proof that victims said we are victims and this is what we were out. I don't believe there's sufficient proof for these 700,000 additional monies that the state is asking. There are not people who have said, hey, I'm victimized and this is what we've been out. So I would ask the court to impose the restitution of $200,737.88. Mr. MacDonald has indicated multiple times, as soon as he is released, he intends to get employment. Obviously, he will never work as an attorney again, but for whatever he is able to get a job doing, and he will make as many good faith payments until this restitution is paid off as possible. And I believe the credit is accurate in the PSI of that case. Thank you, Your Honor.
In accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada, this court does now sentence you as follows. The administrative assessment, DNA fee and collection fee will be imposed, and you'll be required to submit to genetic marker testing. At this time, the court's going to follow the stipulation of the parties and sentence you on count 1, 3 to 8 years in the Nevada Department of Corrections. He has 5 days credit for time served, going to impose the total restitution of $1,737,088, and it'll be broken down as enumerated by the state of Nevada. And I think that's it. Did I say he has 5 days credit for time served?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.